Apparently you can rent cars with the Zip car, scooters with the Scoot, and then the bicycles with the Lime Bike and all its competitors. Alright, if you want to see some of the most comprehensive transportation methods and means around, you go to San Francisco, because this area is just built on hills. If you have to get anywhere within a mile, you're going up and down some kind of a hill. There's just no way to avoid these things. They're steep. It's deep valleys and tall hills near mountains, nearly like mountains. In South San Francisco, they tried to level 150-foot hill with dynamite and all this stuff. They might have done some work in San Francisco, but it's mostly hill. They've built them up on hills, and it's a lot of work getting up and down. Sometimes bicycling, I can't ride down it. It's too steep. Especially in contrast, I can't ride up it either. It's too much work. People in Utah usually just, the hill is there to look at, all right, because it's too rocky, it's too loose. But in San Francisco, they've built on the hills. They're a little more solid. It's just the biggest issue is earthquakes. I've noticed several weird things about, well, it seems kind of unique for the area, patterns that are developing, and I just want to make mention of them. There's a lot of honking. Every place has their honking, but it's on a higher magnitude around here, it seems. And then there's the response honking. Okay, you got some crazy guy that honks for 5 seconds, and then the person who probably assumes they're the one being honked at, they honk in response for another 5 seconds. It's a communication of sorts. And usually it seems in movies and stuff you hear the honking before the accident, but there's no accident. It's just some guy who wants to push his way through the crowd, because they wait in line for long periods of time. Alright, there's some roads that you just have to avoid. They're just way too busy. I noticed in my walking around, there's been a lot of car break-ins, a lot of glass on the sidewalks, sides of the roads. That's a preferred side, actually, is the side facing away from the street. That's the preferred side for the glass smash on the ground. All right. I've walked by 2 cars in the past few days that have actually been sitting there with their glass smashed. All right. And a lot of places where there's just the glass all over the ground. One of them cars that were smashed that I walked by actually had a cord dangling out the outside of the door. Okay, so the thief had to unplug something from that cord, I guess. There's severe parking restrictions just all over. Where I'm at is pretty good. I'm about 8 miles from the Golden Gate Bridge, or even the financial district, and it's okay. It does get crowded though. Okay, even where I'm at, it's this area, this spot even seems to be on the verge of restrictions. There's already restrictions for the cleaning, the street sweeping cleaning, but you get closer in and you're looking at 4-hour time limits, or you have to pay or something. I don't recall seeing any of the olive zones. If you're entering the olive zone, you can only park here for an hour and then don't ever return until the next day or something. I haven't really seen that. That's more in San Jose area. There's 3 types of rentals. There's the companies have laid these rental vehicles out all throughout the city as best they can. You got the Lime Bike, which is new. There's a scoot. There's actually a scooter that is I've noticed and parked in several spots in different neighborhoods, and there's advertising on it that says you can rent it for $3 per trip or something. And then there's the Zip car, which I guess that would be parked at like electric charge up zones. The top corporations have their own buses, I've noticed. Some will put advertisement like the Genetec. They'll say that they're a Genetec bus. Yeah, YouTube won't put any advertisement. They're in San Bruno anyway. They're not exactly in San Francisco. Let's see. Oh, I've noticed the public buses, a lot of times in the mornings, there's just no room to sit. These people are standing. They're crowded. They're just packed in this bus. That's something to behold. I've never really seen it so packed in buses before, but the people seem okay with it. Oh yeah, I found it interesting when I got to the Presidio, close to the Golden Gate Bridge. There's a sign that says no tour buses, no vehicles that can carry more than 8 people are allowed in this area. I found that interesting that they're preventing that. So they've got law enforcement around, patrolling around, and stopping people probably for having too many people in their vehicle. So I'm just going to end it right here. That's just some commentary on transportation.